Oh, hi. My name is Dennis, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Smith & Wesson M&P40. Then precisely about the slide locking device. Okay? Slide release and how it locks it open. First of all, let's get rid of that and check it. Yep. Okay. Good. All right. Now, I want to disassemble this down to a field strip real quick and show you what we're going to be talking about. All right. So, do that real quickly here. Yeah. There. The item we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to move my camera so that you can see what I'm talking about, because I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. I hope it does. Let's get this adjusted so we can get some light in this subject here. Alright guys, this is what we're talking about. This piece of metal here. Okay, this is the slide locking device lever. It's on the M&P40, as you can see, it's it'll work both left and right handed, so it's ambidextrous. Anyway, what I want to talk about is this side of it, which engages the slide. Here's the notch in the slide that Smith & Wesson makes into it that allows it. Now look at it. You can see how it's sloped on one side, almost slope it square on the other side. When this comes to the rear, it's this back side that we're concerned with. This back side is where the metal slide release engages. Now let's understand, this here is a slide. It's made of metal. Okay, it's hard. It's cast forged, I guess, and milled and done all kinds of things. But the slide release, this little lane here, is stamped. And why we're going to be talking about that is because sometimes, after a while of shooting, you will notice that this poor little device, when you go to lock the slide back and you let go, this is pushed down and it slide releases on its own. It's not locking back. And the reason, and if you ever find yourself where you're sliding, you lock it and you let go, and this slide release is pushing itself down by itself, and it's releasing on its own without you manually, or if you lock it back and you just touch it and it slides forward, it's telling you that the metal on the slide release mechanism is it's got a problem. It's worn, so it needs to be addressed and fixed, and that's what I want to talk to you about now. Okay, hang on a minute. Let me field strip this again real quick. There we go. Now, how you take care of that problem? This is real simple. This piece of metal here is one piece, goes all the way around and comes out to this side here. It's one piece, and as you notice when I move it, how it all moves together. Okay, it's a stamped piece of metal, stamped and bent like this, and it's thing. This piece of metal is angled. Okay, I'm going to go this way on it, let you look down it. Hopefully I can do this and get this in focus. And you can see how it's angled. See this angling? This is the piece that engages the slide, this upper thing here. It's bent over and it's stamped like this. Well, this piece of metal is not a it has wearing characteristics to it. And so it will round itself after a while. It will round itself off. It won't maintain its sharp 90-degree angle. Okay, this 90-degree angle, it won't maintain that. The edges on this top area will round off, and it'll slide. And the slide will just go right past it. It'll knock itself out and won't hold back. How do you resolve that? With a file. Now what I did, let me get it, show you. Here. I take a nice little file like this. Okay? I take a nice little file, and what I do is I make sure that I'm at 90 degrees with it. 90 degrees. I don't want to tilt it. I don't want to do it this way. I want to be 90 degrees here. Okay? And the reason being is because 90 degrees gives it the full strength of the metal stamp, of the stamped metal. And what I do is I file until I take out the roundness and return it back to 90 degrees. It doesn't take long, and it's not that much metal to remove when you're doing it. Okay, so I just kind of file it down until this area here is 90 degrees again. And once it is, you'll notice that when you reassemble it, okay, and when you reassemble it and you lock it back, you'll notice that it engages properly. Okay? In fact, if you look at it real closely, you can see what I'm talking about, how the stamped metal just doesn't fill the hole correctly because it's stamped. And there's no way to make it do any better because it's stamped. It's not machined into. This is not machined to this slide. It's just a piece of stamped metal. And so you see that little gap at the beginning of it here? See that little gap? I'm pointing out this little gap right here at the beginning. And notice how it goes to flush up here. So that's why I cut this 90 degree, this piece here at 90 degrees to keep that angle so that when it engages this slide at this area, it's locking itself in there. And then boop, works every time. Okay? Doesn't release on its own. Tap it, all that stuff, but it will release when you pull down on it and everything. That's what you have to do to this. I like that Cerakoting, huh? Anyway, okay guys, I hope that answers some questions about some Smith & Wesson problems people are having. You know, sometimes we think we do great things, but then we reevaluate and we find out that we didn't. And that's what's happened with Smith & Wesson. They were thinking they were doing great things in the design. The weapon is nice. I mean, I can't knock it. The 40 M&P shoots nicely. Sights are nice and everything. It's a nice handheld weapon, and it fires very reliable. It's just that some of the parts I kind of want to go up to Smith & Wesson and just, you know, I would like to be able to go up to their engineering and just pop upside the head and say, what were you thinking stamping a piece of metal? I mean, really, it's not that very difficult to make this a machine piece of metal that you would never have to worry about that ever again. To make this right, just make it a machine piece of metal. You know, it's really not that easy, hard to do, not that hard at all. And they could have done it, and it wouldn't increase the cost of it any really. It's just that it's easier to do this. It's cheaper. So they're looking out for the money. I fault them for that, but hey, that's me. I'm just an old-time old-timey guy that believes in doing good quality work the first time is the right time. Not having to come back and fix problems that should not have been there. That's me. You guys have a super fine day out there. And remember, keep your powder dry.